the purpose of me here is to share with you what is Find Jobs all about and what we actually do to help those ex-offenders to be, to be back in the workforce. So if I'm going too fast, I'm going to be sharing with you our slides. But if I'm going too fast, please do stop me, and and I will like maybe answer to any of your questions, or any doubts, or any clarifications needed. But as Luis mentioned, you can actually just type in the chat box. Okay, so allow me to actually share or give you an introduction of Find Jobs, and then yeah, from there then we can have a sharing session. Just give me a minute while I share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. Yes.
Okay. Right.
Yes, can see clearly.
Okay, nice. Okay, so let me start. Find Jobs. I'm not sure whether any one of you here, you're familiar with Find Jobs, or not at all. Because I think we have actually, during the meet and greet session, I think I've met quite a number of the agencies, in the with together with the disaster network. So, but some I'm not able because there were too many. And I'm not surprised if like some of you are not, familiar or aware what is all Find Jobs all about. So, what I'm going to do right now, allow me to share with you, give you a brief introduction of what we do. Okay, so Find Jobs, we are a job portal. Okay, we are a job portal, and we are also a recruitment agency where we help our target audience is like basically more on the blue collars rank and file. Okay, so this is Find Jobs. So we are actually a social enterprise job tech startup company under the membership of Raise Singapore, right? And we actually work together with government agencies like the SSO offices, Northeast CDC, AIC, and E2I. So we also offer products like job postings, which we liaise with employers who actually do job postings and advertise the job openings on our website. We also do have kiosk rental, some pop-up advertising. This is for marketing purpose for each individual employer, depending on what they actually need. They need to market their brand, some marketing activities that they are doing, sharing their products and services as well. So we actually, based on our past experience, we are in the market for at least almost coming to seven. We are already 7 years old in the market, yeah. And so far we are actually able to drive higher traffic flow into our job app. And not only like as I mentioned earlier, we're actually targeting more on the blue collar rank and file job seekers, right? So most of them, they are not like IT savvy. So we do have the job app and a job kiosk that actually allows them to apply for jobs through this platform. Okay, so we are actually, our outreach is like more on the local, like online and also offline job seekers, where the kiosk comes in. So now, Find Job app, let me start off with this. So everyone, I think, we do have like, even as offenders, when they release, they do have like smartphone, and they know, maybe they do not know how to go about apply for jobs. This will be the question that comes into their mind, that, hey, I'm released, and how am I going to apply for jobs, and what's next, this is what sometimes bothers them. Or they may be thinking that, oh, I'm not sure whether companies out there, and how do I go about applying for a job without a resume. So that's where our Find Job app actually target more on the non-executive job marketplace, and they are also able to select 3 different languages. Yeah, so the Find Job app really helps them to actually apply for a job just a click away. Okay, and without a really a proper, or rather a full CV that they need to actually create in order for them to apply for jobs. Okay, and we do have the scan job features, meaning they can actually choose, or rather they can select or find jobs that is actually nearby their home with the scan feature, or maybe the nearest MRT stations that is nearby to where they live. All right, and the third one would be like they are able to broadcast their profile, meaning it is searchable by employers. Employers are able to see their resumes online, and therefore they can actually contact them directly. So basically, this is just a short demo as to how our Find Job app works. Maybe I just play this video for a short while and let you all see how does it works. Just a very short one. Yeah, as to what they actually see when they go into when they download and then they go into how to go about to apply for jobs. All the job listings or job openings that's posted by employers will be listed here. And then you can just click on the apply now. All the information are there. There is the work location. So basically the jobs that's listed on our portal, these are all basically blue collar roles. So for white collar role, we're not actually focusing on that. And we're targeting, most of our employers are actually targeting more on the locals, Singaporeans and PR. We even have driver roles. And some of the ads, right, employers actually display their contact number, so it's made easy for them to contact the employer directly, whereby they will actually do a phone interview. But some they don't. Yeah, they can just apply through submit their simple resume to the employer. And this is how to when they want to look for job, they can do the scanning and they can actually select based on locations and also the nearest MRT station. And when they want to broadcast themselves, they will have to actually select the preferred job that they are actually seeking for. So from there, when the employer is actually looking for a preschool teacher, then when they search for preschool, then their profile will be listed and the employer can actually contact them directly. Broadcast now, in simple layman term, is like, oh, okay, they broadcast themselves to alert the employers that they're looking for job and the position, like they're looking for admin job. So my simple resume is like it's searchable by employers. 3 different languages, as mentioned earlier, in English, Mandarin, and in Malay. So this is all about the Find Job. It's very actually straightforward. Our app, we just made it simple and easy for, for job seekers to actually apply for jobs. Okay, for employers, right? Okay, we do charge the employers, but we don't charge the job seekers, definitely. For us, what happened is they will just pay, we charge them based on per annual or monthly or maybe 6 months package, and they can actually post unlimited positions online on our portal. So there's no limitation because some of the portal, right, they actually do, like if you sign up with them, there'll be like a certain number of credits given depending on the duration of the package. So, but for Find Jobs, we don't. Basically, you just pay for the package, the package that you subscribe with, and you can post unlimited postings within the duration. If let's say you take up the 3 months package, you can actually post any positions, any job openings that you have for that 3 months period.
Okay. Okay. So would there be, you're going to share about other aspects of Find Jobs, right? But just for now, would there be any further questions on the app? No, I think
Okay, so I move
we are
on.
good. Yeah.
Okay, so next, apart from candidates applying for jobs, through our Find Job app, we also do organize walk-in interviews with our clients. Meaning, it's like a job fair, but the job fair is just between Find Jobs and one employer. So we will actually do the broadcast, we will actually do EDMs, and then we actually do the calling to invite candidates to come down for the walk-in interview, say for example for DB Schenker. So we will do the calling, we invite candidates. So for any EDMs that actually we have done for, to alert the candidates for our upcoming walk-in interviews, we will share the EDM with, I normally will share with Louis, and then Louis will actually share it in our Telegram, DN Telegram channel. So you guys can actually help us to disseminate the information, and then to invite, the ex-offenders who are actually keen. But we, for now, right, we are actually very strong in all these industries that is actually stated, like F&B, retail, cleaning, logistic, engineering, electronics, and education industry. Okay, for now, I think it's really like very good is right now actually the retail and F&B industry, because now it's the holiday period, and then people were like wanting to look for job during this holiday season. Okay, so for walk-in interviews, right, what we actually do is normally, like I mentioned earlier, we actually do the calling, we do the EDM, and then we invite the candidates, and then there will be like a time slot that is actually given, or rather, we allow the candidates to actually choose the preferred time slot. So these are some of the example of the visual reference. That is the EDM that we actually do. We include in the EDM the information, like what are the positions, like whether it's a full-time, part-time roles, and then the date, time, and of course the location of the walk-in interview. Okay, these are some of the walk-in interview photos, on site. So we have the HR, conduct an face-to-face interview with the job seekers, and then these are all the positions normally they will hire on the spot. So there will be a chance where, if let's say they are good, they can actually start.
Mm.
Okay, I have a question from Miss Ellie. Okay, she was asking, are the employers in the app open to ex-inmates? Okay, actually okay, before we actually, engage, or before they engage with us, these are what some of the questions that we actually will ask the employer, whether they are actually open to ex-offenders. So, in the app or on our portal, or on our job kiosk, is actually open to all employers, which we don't really segregate, like, okay, this group of employers accept, they can accept, they're open to ex-inmates, but this group of employers don't. But we don't do that because it's overall. But then most of the employers who sign up with Find Jobs, they do. So they do, because before they actually sign up or engage our services, we will actually, these are part of our questions that we actually ask, whether they are open to ex-inmates. And some, they are very open, it's okay, they are fine with it. And some, they said, depending on what kind of cases or rather crime which actually they did. So, and also depending on the roles. So maybe previously they were involved in theft. So definitely for cashier role, it's not suitable for them. Something like that. I hope that answers your question, Ellie.
Just a point to comment.
Mm.
If you all do like this, where some of the employers are not open, some of the employers are
Mm.
open,
Mm.
then there's a way to indicate to the potential employee who may be seeking the job that this one is open or not open to ex-inmate. Is there any
Okay.
way to indicate?
We are actually working on we are actually doing a plan because for now it's a little bit sensitive. Of course, like like for the ex-offenders, they wouldn't know what kind of, they would just apply for jobs, or
Mm.
but until like when they go for interview, and then when they fill up the application form, then they know that, oh, okay, they're rejected because of they got cases, because some of the application forms they will need to indicate whether they
Mm.
they had actually a previous criminal
Mm.
records and all that.
Mm.
Yeah. So we are actually it's like work in progress. We're actually looking into how are we actually going to integrate, like I said, on our portal, we know probably we can work something like, okay, these are the group of employers that they are open to ex-offenders, like maybe a tab or something. We can improvise our, our portal to such, so it can actually make things easier for the ex-offenders, so they know, that, oh, okay, these are the employers, so they can actually focus, that they know they can be expecting a call from this group of employers who are actually willing to hire like ex-inmates. Yeah.
Another way is through referrals lah. I mean,
Mm.
as in rather than walk in, it can be tie-ups through agencies in our sector lah. Because
Mm.
for all agencies in our sector, we are definitely helping PIEs, right? So
Yeah,
when
yeah,
link up to referrals from any of our PIE helping agencies, confirm is likely to be a PIE lah.
yeah.
So that could be the other approach, rather than
Yes.
have them to walk in by themselves lah.
Yeah, correct,
Yeah,
correct.
then you can channel them to the inclusive employers already law.
Correct. So, okay, I have a question here. So, Eileen actually is asking, so those on tagging can also apply here? Yes, definitely. We are actually working also together with what I will need, maybe from your side. Maybe we can engage, and then we can, I can share with you, like, we are also working with some of the agencies who actually have their clients who are actually on tagging. So those who are on tagging, is we aware that they actually have curfews, that they have to be back, to the halfway house, or to be back home within certain period of time at 7 p.m. probably. So for example, like some of the roles, right, they don't really need to work until like 5 even. Some they actually work like from maybe 7 or maybe 8 to 4, depending on the roles lah. But normally for cleaner roles, right, their work timing is so different actually. So we can always work together, especially for those companies who are open to hire ex-inmates. We can always, and those as also on tagging, right, we can always like like arrange, or rather discuss with the employer as to what will be the best work arrangement or work timing for them. Yeah. Okay, so this my next slide is just sharing with you what's our most recent and upcoming walk-in interviews. Okay, like we do have, like, from here I can tell you, say like example of some employers, they are not open to ex-inmates. Like say for example, UEMS Solutions, they are not open to ex-inmates. So for such, if let's say they have like walk-in interviews, I will not disseminate the information to the system network, to promote. But like ISS facility, like Agape, like Conrad, ST, okay, we don't talk about ST. ST is definitely a no, because it's involving aerospace. So they are very stringent, as in they do not hire ex-inmates or offenders. Yeah. So, but some of the companies are, of course, these are only for the upcoming walk-in interviews and the most recent ones. Just roughly from here, by the look at it, I will know, like, oh, some of the companies that don't, they're not open to
IPL 2024. All teams best squad.
Sorry, Lawrence, I can't really hear you. Okay, can I move on? Yes. Okay. Let me answer to Eileen, as she has another question for me. Okay. Other than using the Find Job app, they can also apply for jobs through our Telegram channel. Yes, Find Jobs, you do have a Telegram channel as well, and they can apply through our Telegram channel and also our Find Job kiosk. I will actually share with you what is actually our Find Job kiosk all about. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Eileen. Okay. Apart from the Find Job apps, or rather, or applying jobs through our, website, which I think most of them will not be familiar with. So we do have our Find Job app as well, kiosk, job kiosk. Okay, job kiosk is actually catered to those non-IT savvy job seekers who may not have access to job search resources to apply for jobs. So our physical kiosk is actually placed in over 30 different locations throughout Singapore. And one of the location will be like our some of the CCs, like the SSO offices, like shopping malls, MRT stations, etc. So this allows actually to reach out to the community, whereby whatever jobs that's posted on our job kiosk, on our Find Job app or portal, it will also appear on the kiosk. Okay, even like they can even without submitting their resume, they can even contact the employers directly. Okay, this is an example of a job kiosk. Okay, and we also do have a job kiosk at Petapis at IMH as well. Okay, I will just briefly show you a short video on how candidates actually apply for job through our kiosk. This is how the display will look like. We have also top banners. They can actually use their phone to scan and download our app as well. They can scroll through all the jobs that's posted by employers.
So this one will also generate the resume, right?
Yes. The resume, right? The information that they will ask is very simple. Their contact details, their NRIC, and what kind of job, and maybe their work experience.
Hmm.
One thing good about this is they can actually contact their employer directly, because the phone number actually will be featured, and they can also scan through their phone using their phone.
Hmm.
And that's how they scan through their phone.
Yani, I think can move on. It's a bit repetitive.
Huh?
A bit repetitive. I think can move on.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are all the basically the companies or the brands that's currently using Find Jobs. We have different industries now, like F&B. We also have electronics, engineering, cleaning
Mm.
company as well. Okay, so the beneficiaries that we actually cover are like low income, like single parents, PR, those with mental recovery, and of course others will be ex-offenders as well.
Mm.
Okay, these are the beneficiaries that we actually cover. Okay, we also have a community projects, we call it like corporate social responsibility, which is called the CSR shop. Okay, and we have the Temp Job app. Temp Job app is actually a mobile app to connect residents basically residing in the Tampines area or the East area, targeting this pool of job seekers. Okay, And we in the app we have quite a number of services. Maybe if you have we also have the X app, whereby this is especially for those ex offenders, right? If they are actually looking into resources like okay, they need counseling, they need mentoring, they need financial assistance, advices, and all that, and also job assistance, you can actually download the X app. Look up for all the services. Okay, so this is basically how it looks like. The different categories like helplines, caregivers, etc. And they have the resources, like we have the activities, and also of course their profile. They have to create a simple profile in the app. Okay, so I think that is all about find jobs. So I can actually I open up to everyone who actually has questions for me that I may be able to assist.
Yeah. So thank you, Yani, for your sharing. I think this is already the second time you're doing this for us.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
okay.
last one you also did for us through our lunchtime sharing, and now you're doing this again. So very thankful, and this is at night. Yeah.
No worries,
So
it's my pleasure.
so I think some of the participants are new. They haven't heard of your app, so I think it's still good. And perhaps some of them may also be very interested to find out more about how to work with your site lah. Do we have questions
Sure.
from our participants? Any burning questions you want to ask?
So basically, just wondering, I don't see like familiar faces so far from
Mm,
here. So
mm.
I wonder if you all have met me before in the meet and share session, the two sessions before.
Just
No,
to share that they may not be attending the meet and share because meet and share is restricted attendees. Normally it's only 2 or 3 packs per
I
agency, so they
see.
may not be.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
So some of these are, I think, volunteers. They are probably interested to find out more about job placement lah. And I think most of them are concerned about inclusive employment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can see the questions asked about, do they take inmates with tagging? Do they take up inmates with former inmates with incarceration records, things like that.
Right.
Yeah. So this
Yes.
is a issue that's very pertinent to our sector lah.
I
So
understand.
having to identify inclusive employers will be very helpful. But there's also the challenge of how do you identify inclusive employer? I mean, Yellow Ribbon has been grappling with this issue for many years, more than a
Yeah.
decade or two. Yet, it's still not easy to say that just because you want to employ an ex-inmate or an inmate, right, you are inclusive. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly. Because like some employers, right, initially they are open to hire ex-offenders, but then after a while, they
Yeah.
decided not to. Why? Because some of them they were actually given an opportunity, to work in their organization, but somehow things doesn't work out well. So there are a lot of things on the employer aspect, right? They feel that hey, I've given like my company has given them a chance to actually to work, but things doesn't turn out to be working well, or so many other reasons that they may give, or some of them they were given like opportunity to work, but in the end they just MIA, without even like telling the employer. So
Yeah.
yeah, so these are some of the factors, or the facts that's really happening to some companies lah. I mean, or no doubt they are willing to give them a chance, to come back to the workforce, but somehow they, well, I personally feel that it all depends on individual as to what you want to target in your life, what you want to do in your life. Mistakes or whatever crime that you have done that was before, and there is an opportunity given to you to be out there to the some of the companies are even open to hire you. So you somehow have to actually prove it to them that you are actually, you're thankful, you're grateful that you are being like accepted, in by the company that is willing to do so. So
Yeah.
it
So
depends.
So our sector's issues are, I think, probably similar to other sectors, underserved or marginalized communities, where there must be a bridging role lah, because there are a bit of special challenges, special needs, right? Where there needs to be someone who plays a bit of that mentoring role, that champion role, that helps to bridge the gap between the beneficiaries' challenges lah
Yeah,
and the employee lah. So I'm just wondering for your side, when you work with the persons in recovery, right? Do you all also work with such let's say certain support agencies that will provide that bridge towards helping them to be reintegrated? Do you reintegrate them in the workforce?
So far, we have only worked with with the person in recovery, the PRs in short,
Yeah.
who actually we currently have two of them with us. So in initial, and we have one coming on board next week on Monday. So we to help us out with the administrative work. So what happened is on like initial stage, right? Let's say for example within the first week of the employment, what happened is their caregiver, right, will be there with them, you know, to support them, to
Yes,
give them
yes,
moral support. So it's like
yes.
after a week when they feel that, oh, okay, they're okay, it seems that they're quite stable to work, you know, then they will just leave them with us. So maybe
Yeah.
they will just do like a follow up, like okay, how are they doing, like maybe on a monthly basis, and maybe we can actually give them a report, how is this person performing. So from there they analyze.
Yeah,
So this
so
is
it's
how
the
we
same.
mm,
It's probably the same with our sector that if we want to put them on inclusive employers or those employers who want to be inclusive but have no experience working with our our pies, right? We
mm,
actually also need some kind of bridging role. It's
mm,
important lah. Yeah, so like what
yeah.
you mentioned, the PIRs, right? I mean, they also have people who come in and play the nurturing role just to make sure they
Mm,
do well. So we cannot assume that our these pies, right? They will just hit the ground running. They wouldn't, because there's a lot of mindset shift they need to do, a
yeah.
lot of sympathization to the normal society that they have not been used to,
Mm,
a lot of mindset change that they need to adjust into. Yeah, so
exactly.
that role of a mentor in their
Oh,
journey of
yes,
transition is
mentor.
important lah. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. You're right.
Mm.
Mentoring is important for this group of people. I mean,
Mm.
when they're out there in the workforce, you know, because it's been quite a while since the last time they actually out there, working.
Yeah. So even for Yellow Ribbon, they do promise these job coaches lah. But of course, their job coaches is one for don't know how many lah. So may not be that effective as we envision it to be lah.
Right, right.
But at the same
Understand.
time, we recognize the need, and probably if we want to work with inclusive employers, it would be good to have inclusive employer champions from the employer side lah. So they,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
themselves can play the bridging role when they take in any pies lah. Then over time, as you take in more, you realize what you need to caveat for in terms of performance, in terms of ability to perform, right? Then sometimes MC throw here, throw there.
Yeah.
So you will learn to scale down. If you really want to be inclusive lah, you learn to
Yeah.
scale down your expectations and not think that they can just hit the ground running and then say, okay lah, it's up to every individual lah. You don't perform, then you give you a chance. It just doesn't work that way if that's the case. So that's why maybe a lot of employers don't end up taking our pies because really they are not very employable sometimes upfront lah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yep.
yeah. Okay. So would there be any other questions from our participants here? Do you have any questions? Anything you want to ask? No? Yes? Oh, very quiet today. All those camera, all never say anything. I got a few comments now. You all asked already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe for my personal vested interest, maybe you can share a little bit more about X lah. Yeah, so
Okay, the X app is actually very, very useful for ex offenders, especially because there are actually a lot of like resources, you know, or a lot of helplines provided. So if any of the agencies that's actually with the together with the disaster network, I've actually advised to maybe advertise their services, or especially what in what aspect that the ex offenders require. So it is actually very useful, because the other time when we had the some sharing sessions, I actually emphasize, or rather you guys here, maybe you want to download the app, and you can actually find a lot of useful information, and maybe you can actually introduce it to your clients, to probably anyone that you know who may need help, on all these or rather information that they require for assistance. Even we have like in terms of caregivers, if they need like support, or like how like addiction treatment, example, or any support group. So they can actually click on that particular tab, and then they get the companies that, or rather the contact details or the information that they require will be there. So they know that, oh, okay, I can get support. Who are the support groups that maybe in alcoholics, how to control, they can actually contact. All the information, the numbers are there, and what are the website that they can actually go, to go to the website and then get all the information that they require, or the assistance that they require. Okay. And like caregivers, who they can actually contact. It's just a one tap away. They click on the tab and they already get all the information, like in terms of maybe debts, who they can contact the Credit Counseling Singapore, to discuss on how are they going to settle all their debts and all.
Yeah.
So a lot of information, even if it's like halfway houses, if they will want to get assistance. Right now, I can see we do have a lot of companies actually have already uploaded, their information in the X app. So,
So just to share, we have been working closely with Find Jobs to do this lah. So a
mm,
lot of our support group activities, right? Our PI support group activities, we actually uploaded under the activity segment lah. So that means to say, if your beneficiary is looking for a place that can call home in terms of support group or community, right? There's a whole list of all the different activities and support groups, right? Catering to different interests and needs, right? In the activity section lah. We also have a resources section, which talks about
yes.
employment and education resources lah. So this is a one-stop center, a common resource for all our agencies in our sector lor. So it's a one-stop center. So you don't have to go to different links. You can just go to this app, and it's available on Apple as well as
Android.
on Android lah.
Yeah.
Google. Yeah, so you can just download. Just key in ACTSX. Yeah, X social support app. Then you can download for free lah. So very thankful that is given to us for free now. It's a one-way communications now lah. But hopefully when we are able to do enhancement, we can use it as a two-way communications mode lah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Any last points to raise? If not, we're going to end tonight's session. Anything? No? Yes? Let me check the chat group. Okay. Nothing.
All good. Yeah.
Okay, with that, then I think we can call it a day, and we want to thank everyone for their time, for making time to listen in as well, especially to Yani for making time to share this a second time, and then you go have one on Saturday.
It's my pleasure.
Okay.
Louis.
Yes.
Hi, Louis. Can I just check something with you? Yeah,
Yes.
because I'm not so sure whether is it okay to chat with you right here. What happened is that there's an inmate. She's supposed to be released on tagging in December, mid-15th of December lah. So, however, she says that as of now, she still doesn't have any job with the yellow ribbon. So, she's a bit concerned. I'm also a little bit curious, typically, how long before your release date that you should be given a job by yellow ribbon side?
Okay, actually, it all depends on the employment match lah. I mean, I'm not particularly familiar with how long it should take. But it all depends on what's the particular need, the industry and the particular job the inmate's looking for, and whether there's a match. There could have been more than one interviews that were done, and maybe the first one wasn't suitable, or the inmate rejected herself or himself. Is her, right? It could be that way also lah. Then it also could be sometimes the employer after interviewing don't want to take, and they have to schedule a next one. So the thing is, depending on the program that she's going to be placed on, it may require her to have a job before she can go out. But it also can be home based, where you can start being home first without a job. So I don't know what program she's on lah. So there are some program which requires a job, then you can be in place at the work release camp. Yeah. Hope that answers. Yeah. Sorry, you are mute. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm quite sure that in her case, she's able to come home. She's on home tagging.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, without a job.
Home tagging without job, that means you can still come home lah. But just matter of
Yes.
when you can get a job.
Correct. Yeah.
Pull out
So
home. Yeah.
so that's why I was thinking maybe this app would be very useful for her to, yeah, this
Yes,
platform now useful for her.
So Yellow Ribbon is a very good source because normally they are the default source, but they can also supplement it with your personal contacts, personal, ecosystems, and of course, with job portals like Find Jobs lah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any other questions to raise before we close shop? No, Okay, so I'm going to say good night to everyone already. Thank you for your time, and
Okay.
till we meet again.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.